Today's episode is all about this beautiful pattypan squash and the fact that it has a horrible case of powdery mildew. Good morning, YouTube. Jerry with Lonely Pines Farm. So today is the 1st of August in Seattle, Zone 8, and it is getting hot. We've had some record temperatures pushing 90, or 90 actually, for about the past week. Just starting to cool down today a little bit. So with those hot temperatures and those very humid nights, usually powdery mildew shows up. So powdery mildew is a fungus. It's pretty much always around. It just goes dormant more or less in the winter. And come those really hot days of summer, those warm nights, perfect breeding ground for it. And it attaches to your plants and it will eventually kill out your plant. So today I'm going to show you how to fix that. I'm going to do a little trimming and hopefully get some of these guys under control. Let's go take a look at the garden. So this is our trellising garden. Everything's doing really well. Got some brandywines and tomatillos going in there. Straight 8 cucumber doing really well. But this pattypan squash here, although it's massive and been fruiting, we've been getting a lot of fruit off of it as a matter of fact, has got powdery mildew. If you come in here kind of tight, you can see all the spots. Okay, this leaf not so bad. This brand new green leaf here covered in it. Okay, look at back here. As we get farther back, just horrible. So this will not harm your fruit. It will get all over your leaves and it will eventually cover your leaf. You can see what's going on there. Better in the shade, maybe there's a better angle of it. So this will cover the entire leaf if not treated, and it will kill off the leaf. So we are going to do a very hard prune on this to get rid of it. And then we're going to spray it down with a mixture of baking soda and neem oil and a little bit of soap. I'll show you how to make all of that. So first thing we want to do is try to trim away any of the worst offenders in here. And I know it may hurt, but cut it all the way back. Okay, take the entire leaf, cut it all the way back. And all of these pieces that I'm cutting off are not going to go into the compost pile. These will all go into our yard waste container and get taken off property. You don't want to have this stuff around if you can help it. So, I know it looks a little harsh, but trim it back. Get rid of all the old growth that is contaminated. This is also going to open up some airspace, and that will help. But for the most part, you can't get rid of powdery mildew. It's going to stick around all year round, and we just got to kind of combat it. So let's clean this up a little bit more. Look at that. That leaf is absolutely horrible. And that will kill the entire plant. Okay? It doesn't take very long. You go from frame here. You can go from this that just has a couple of spots on it to something like this in just a few days, and usually it happens overnight. And you come back the next morning and think I'll treat it in a couple of days, and you come back the next morning, it's a little worse. Come back the next day and it's horrible. Okay, so just get rid of all of that material in there. And be careful not to cut off any new growth that doesn't have it, because you're going to need that new growth. Okay. I'm just going to take this over, stem to it. This plant is well established. It'll actually respond very well to being trimmed. There'll be all sorts of new growth on it. I'm going to take off all of the couple dead pieces from all of the male flowers. Just clean it up a little bit. Won't have to get everything out of there, but I'll show you the difference also. This is a male flower. Okay, it just has a stem that comes up to an actual flower. Nothing fancy about that compared to this one here. This one, you can see the little pattypan squash. And this flower will open probably tomorrow or the next day. I broke one off. Okay, again, there's a female flower. This is a female flower. And this big open one up here, of course, is male flower. Okay. And they definitely will grow trellising. You just have to keep tying them up. So we're going to have to get back out here and do it again. But I've already tied him up a couple of times this year, and he's still doing very, very well. So. Okay, so this will probably take a minute or two to clean up a little bit more, so I'll do that, and then we'll be right back to you. Okay, so now you can see it is very trimmed. Don't be afraid to give it a good haircut, okay? You got to get a lot of that stuff off. You will see there's a leaf down here that's, you know, got one spot there, one spot here, a little bit there, but I'm going to treat this here in a minute, and I'm pretty confident that spray that I use will take that little bit out, at least put it into hibernation. And this is a drop of pitch, believe it or not, from our pine trees. Eats a hole right through the leaves. And this is all of the stuff that I took off there. Okay, so you can see some of it's not so bad there, but some of it's really bad. You just got to get rid of it. It will kill off your plant given the time. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is get in here and tie this guy up a little bit. Just so that it's more upright. Hello, Mr. B. This plant has been very prolific for us so far, so we don't want to lose it. So, okay, let's go inside. We'll make up a solution to spray with. And all we're going to do is basically throw in good old-fashioned baking soda. And in our case, we're going to use a little bit of neem oil as well. And this is going to raise the baking soda is going to raise the pH on your leaves, and it's going to make it so that the leaves are not as favorable for the fungus to grow. So all we do, 25, 30 ounces of water, approximately 1 liter. You take half a teaspoon of baking soda. And we're going to use a 100% organic neem oil. Okay, and neem oil also fights fungus as well as can be used as an insecticide. They do sell other forms of neem oil at your big box stores. Most of them are have all the good stuff extracted from it already. So if you read the contents, you'll see. I recommend going to a nursery or something or ordering it online. Okay, we're going to go a half a teaspoon of neem oil. And then obviously the oil and the water do not mix. Okay, so that oil is going to sit on top of there. So we're going to use a little bit of soap to break that bond down so that the oil floats in the water, and when we use it in the spray bottle, it actually disperses evenly instead of just getting clumps or not getting it at all and just using the water. So try to get the purest type of soap you can. If you're using like a scented one or a super concentrated one that's going to have added chemicals in it to make it do whatever it's doing for washing dishes, but you don't necessarily want that on your plants, right? So all we're doing here, again, just a couple of drops. What we're going to do is we're going to, you can see the oil. Make sure I'm in frame here. can see the oil there sitting on the surface. Okay. Put your sprayer back together. And give that a good shake. Hopefully the oil will wait for a few seconds. Make sure the oil stays dispersed in the bottle. Okay, you can kind of see it starting to discolor up here already compared to down here. So a little bit more so. Give it a good shake. Let that sit for a minute and we'll double check it. But that's the color of the mix that you're looking for. And there's no oil sitting up on top here. It's all dispersed in here, and you will need to shake this periodically as you're spraying. Okay, let's go outside and let's spray our plant and get this taken care of. So real quick, I do want to say, whenever you're going to spray something, always test spray a few leaves. I made a batch of spray and used a different soap at one point, and you can see the damage it did to that leaf. Okay, there's another one back here. Here we go. Really eating up quite a bit. However, it did stop the powdery mildew, so we'll just cut that leaf off in time. But always, always, always test spray if you're going to try any new sprays in your garden. Okay, so again, there is our waste pile, and then our well-trimmed pattypan zucchini here. Okay, we took off a lot of stuff in there. Okay, left what we could. Might be a few spots here and there, but for the most part, everything is gone. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get right in there, shake your mix up, and get right in there, and we're going to spray every leaf, top and bottom. And again, what this is going to do, it's going to coat these leaves, and it's going to change the pH, and the mildew will not deem it a satisfactory place to set up shop. So you're going to probably have to do this every week or so throughout the hot growing season. So make sure you get up underneath all those leaves too. And it'll dry pretty quickly. Make sure you shake your bottle. Okay. There you go. Oh, got some on the camera lens. So that is how you take care of powdery mildew. So it's been 2 weeks since we cut on the pattypan here, and as you can see, it's responded really well. So in here was where the most of the damage was. So we cut most of that back. You can see a few leaves yet dying off here a little bit. They're just not going to come back, but look at the new growth. This is another full production stem coming down here. Got a little pattypan in there, and a whole good cluster of things coming in here. And then as we come up, there is more growth, a bunch of male flowers coming, which makes me think there's more females. There's a little baby one right there. Of course, great big beautiful flower. No pollinators today though. That's a male flower again, so we need some females coming in. But everything in here looks real good. So the treatment did work. Like I say, it has been 2 weeks since I sprayed. So if you look closely, you know, we got a little bit of powdery mildew showing up in there. There's a better spot right there. A little bit of it coming back, and I have noticed this is a straight 8 cucumber. It's been really doing well, fruiting fantastically for us, but it is starting to get powdery mildew also, so I'm going to trim all that stuff off later today. and give that a spray as well. That leaf's really bad. See that? So it's just something you're going to have to fight for the season once you get it. Get out there and spray every week or 2 weeks or so. But don't be afraid to trim things back. Definitely responded well to that. So good luck with your gardens, you guys. We'll talk to you again soon. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel.